Hello, good people. How's everyone doing? Thanks for tuning in. I am Chris, and let's get to it, right? I trust that everyone has been having themselves a great weekend as we lead up to the Christmas holiday. Hopefully, you've enjoyed your family and your friends. And with that being said, we're all about um, building our wealth, building our financial, building our financial knowledge here and building your financial wealth, right? So, ways to go about doing that. You know, surely we all watch the market and see what's going on in the market, and hopefully we are all DCAing and building our positions, right? Pretty affordable stock is SoFi. I've been talking about SoFi. And let me just say, there's a community tab on everyone's YouTube page, every YouTube influencer. It shows you the home. I believe it shows you the shorts. It shows you uh, different things. It's got like 5 things, I believe, cross up, right up under the bio. And the last tab says community. So I highly recommend you look at anyone you're following, any YouTube influencer you're following. I highly recommend you check out the community tab, right? I believe it tells you, in my opinion, it tells you a lot about the person whose channel it is. It tells you a lot about what they're doing and what they support, what they look up, what to look up to them. What have you. That's my opinion. And anyway, the mines, if you scroll through it, it's different things. There's one that shows you my recommendations of crypto to get into, stocks that, in my opinion, is good choices. And I believe I have a few notes as to why. And I've been talking about it so far. I don't talk about it all the time. I don't talk about everything all the time. But SoFi, Palantir, if you're DCing into SoFi, Palantir, maybe VOO, ETF, if you're DCing into those and you're DCing into, excuse me, a few good cryptos, I always say the number one, Bitcoin, number two, Ethereum. I've talked plenty about ICP, Uniswap, and what have you. I was talking about Uniswap. I didn't notice anyone else talking about Uniswap at the time, and I was saying it was the identifying the great price that it was at, and the potential and the potential of where it could go. And over the last few weeks, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Uniswap, and so my brother and a good friend of mine, we have a close little group where we talk a lot about stock and crypto and where we're in and where we're trying to get to, right? So my brother and my friend, they get excited when everybody else start talking about things that I've been talking about for a while to structure us into, get us into, to get ahead of the game. And I know that's a good thing when other folks, get on your bandwagon. But I've always been of a mindset, thankful to my dad, that if I do my own thing, right? If you put thought into what you're doing and you know where you're trying to go and you've done your own research, you were born by yourself, you're going to leave here by yourself. Run with your decision, follow it through to the end, learn what you did right, what you did wrong. If you can identify where you went wrong at, then you'll know going forward when you make decisions similar to that, how to make better and better decisions. Wow, that was a nugget right there for myself. Hopefully somebody else caught it. I always like to build on whatever it is I'm doing in life, right? If you make wise and sound decisions, in my opinion, wise, sound, and godly decisions, you can always build on top of your decisions, right? As life continues to happen around you, if you made a wise and sound decision, when you make your next wise, sound decision, it should be able to fit into the last few wise decisions you made, and you keep on going upward bounds, right? And again, as I said a few minutes ago, if you made a decision that appeared wise, but things changed in life and it's no longer wise, if you can be able to identify the breakdown in the decision that you made, then you can go dig that up, pull that out, and install whatever fix you want to do to your decision that you was making, and then continue to build from there. Okay, getting back on point. So here on my channel, I'm always trying to motivate and inspire folks to build your financial knowledge and to build your financial wealth. The way you build your financial wealth is to build your financial knowledge. You got to do some research. You got to get out there and do something, right? I always say YouTube is your friend, right? Google is your friend. Go and Google information, go and YouTube information. Take these different thoughts and lessons that you learn from wherever it is you learn it, put it together with whatever direction you want to go in life, and then make a decision, move forward from there, right? So anyway, a few things I wanted to talk about on this evening in the area of building your financial knowledge in order to build your financial wealth. Stock market is a great vehicle, right? Crypto market is a great vehicle, right? Well, you also need to put together a budget, right? If you haven't been budgeting, then, hey, we bring it to your attention now. You need to budget. Budget is just a list of, it's a list of your expenses for the month, as well as a list of your income for the month, right? So if you don't know what all of your expenses are for the month, you don't know what you need to bring in for the month, right? If you don't know what all of your income is for the month, then how do you know where you're falling short at in meeting your expenses? Some people say, well, I just pay out my bills first. Well, if it's the end of the month, you had X amount of bills and you can only get 7 paid. So now you have to carry 3 bills over into the next month. What is going to be your plan next month? Because 9 times out of 10, whatever money you made this month, it's going to be the same thing you're going to make next month, unless you either own your own business or sometimes you work overtime, so that's not necessarily going to be the same every month. But overall, your income is going to be pretty much the same general ballpark month in, month out, unless you're doing something that you can, you could, if you're in sales, then you can do different things to drive up your income for the month. So it's good to put together a budget, know what your expenses are, or know what your income is. Then you'll know if you have any money to put into the markets, right? Put into the stock market, put into the crypto market, what have you. Okay, so you need to budget, you need to know your expenses, you need to know your income, right? And then you need to put together an emergency savings fund, right? Small fund, right? So a lot of my mentors like to say 2,000 as a 2,000 as a benchmark. Put away 2,000, right? And somebody say, well, Wemble's come up with that. If you don't plan ahead for life happening, then life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you plan ahead or not, right? So if you don't have the 2,000, it's not the end of the world. We all have been there. Then you start saving what you can, right? That means you'll need to cut back on the eating out. You need to cut back on the going out to eat for lunch every day, and bring you something. Whatever leftovers you have, whatever sandwiches you can go out and make, go to Walmart, grab you some mayonnaise and lettuce and some ham and cheese, and make you ham and cheese sandwich 3 days a week. You don't have to do it back to back. You got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, break it up. And on Tuesday, go out to eat somewhere low, a small budget for that Tuesday and Thursday, right? Just my opinion. You do what works best for you. But just talking about ways to cut back. If you know, if you look at your expenses and your income, you have a discrepancy, then you know you could cut back on your eating out. You can cut back on your entertainment on the weekends or your whatever your days off are. Curtail your entertainment. Well, that's what I wanted though. I need that downtime. Hey, I need the downtime too. I used to love the matinee movies. Still love the matinee movies. Still love the movies. But I had to come to a point where, you know, put that into my budget and make sure I could fill it. If I had holes in my budget, then I got to plug some of the holes. You got to cut some out. You got to cut back. You got to do what you got to do to make ends meet for you and yours, right? So you want to work on building that emergency fund. Now, personally, I think with the opportunities that have been going on in the market for the last 24 months plus, if I didn't have an emergency fund, which I do, if I didn't have an emergency fund, then I would have, you know, look at my budget, look at my expenses, look at my income. If my income outweighed my expenses, I would come up with a set amount that I'm going to be DCAing a month into the stock market and crypto. And then I would have a set amount that I'm putting into my emergency fund. Somebody say, some of my friends, some of my family, well, where am I supposed to get this money from to go all these different ways? I can't say exactly that I have an answer, but I can say all things are possible. You just got to get busy looking for ways, right? You need to seek out ways to increase your overall monthly income, whether that's cutting grass. Am I just throwing that out there for you? Hey, I cut grass for many years, been cutting grass from the 7th grade to well into my adult life. I stopped cutting grass probably about maybe 6 years ago. I was having back issues. It wasn't because of the grass, it was because of my military career. But the grass, bending over and what have you, that wasn't helping my back any. And so I had to cut it out, and I started finding other ways to reproduce that income. Didn't just find other ways to reproduce that income, I exceeded the income that I was making from landscape. But so you can cut grass, you can babysit if you're a female, you can nanny, you know, if you're a guy and you got family members that you can keep the kids, hey, do what you got to do. There's Uber, there's Uber Eats, there's DoorDash. There's so many ways you can go about making money if you know how to get pretty good on the computer. There are ways out there where you can go about doing things for other folks on the computer, and you know, it's so many ways out there. You just got to get busy seeking ways to increase your overall income, right? You want to put together a plan to aggressively attack reducing your debt, right? I don't know what works for you. I know I had a plan to aggressively reduce my debt. Yet at the same time, I was budgeting. At the same time, I was socking away. I was, you know, DCAing into stock. I was DCAing into crypto. What was my motivation for doing all these things? I was building the emergency fund. I was aggressively attacking my debt. But I was motivated to do all these things because at first I didn't know how to do it. But I was doing it. I was getting it all done. Still wasn't sure how I was doing it, but it was a mindset. One of my mentors, Jasper Racine, he loved to talk about, you know, if you don't believe you can do these things, that's your biggest hurdle right there. My kids tell me that, well, we're supposed to get the money to do this and this and this and this and that. Well, I'm presenting to them a plan, but it sounds like a lot. It sounds like it's impossible. And so in their own mind, they couldn't see themselves doing this. So I think they just kicked it down the road. But whether it's my family, whether it's my friends, whether it's my kids, it doesn't matter. It's a matter of making up in your own mind. Everything I've been doing in life has not been working to get me ahead in the game of life. So this is just what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to have to figure it out. When you make up your mind to do that, it becomes possible. When you see it become possible, you'll get more aggressive at applying it and doing it, and sooner or later you'll be winning in this awesome, wonderful game of life. Okay, I gotta get ready to sum this up. It's getting late. Last thing I wanted to say, you want to make sure you are spending each one of your army of dollars as wisely as you possibly can, right? We're going to make errors along the way. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but we can learn from those errors. We can learn from those ways, and we can do a better job in our tomorrows, right? It's about building your knowledge, applying what you've learned, and becoming better and better at it. You want to make sure you're spending each one of your army of dollars wisely, putting each one to work in order to fulfill one of the key points that we just pointed out above, right? Put each one of your dollars actively working in your budget, in your expenses, in your increasing your income, and aggressively attacking your debt, and in building your small emergency fund, right? So don't cry because you don't have $2,000 overnight. Just aggressively attack, putting something in there each week or each 2 weeks. And as you continue to do that, in a few months, you'll have your 2,000. Yet at the same time, you had already began building your 3 to 5 different stock positions and your 3 to 5 different crypto positions. And as I've said in time past, if you haven't said it recently, but I'll say it now. If you have 5 stocks and you have 5 cryptos, and let's say you want to do $10,000 to each one, but you don't have $100 a week. Let's say you have the $50 a week, or you have the $25 a week, whatever your budget allows. Maybe you have $200 a week. I don't know, but you can invest in your 5 stocks 1 week. The following week, you can invest into your 5 cryptos, and you could just rotate from week to week, right? Because you have 4 weeks in a month, right? 2 weeks can be for your stock, 2 weeks can be for your crypto. After a while, you'll have a portfolio that you'll be proud of, right? And then you'll begin to see it grow, and you'll see them, the army of dollars, work real hard and turn over and turn over and turn over. Okay, I could go on and on and on. Hopefully I'm saying something to help somebody, right? Hopefully I'm inspiring you, encourage you to get off the sideline, get into the game of life where you're building your financial knowledge and you're growing your financial wealth. And after a while, you'll be able to take care of all your needs and then some. When something breaks, you'll be able to go to your portfolio, sell a little bit of this, sell a little bit of that, pull out only what you need to take care of what needs to be taken care of. And at the same time, you're still sticking to your weekly plans of DCAing. You'll never want to stop your DCAing. Well, how long am I supposed to do this? As long as you're breathing, you need to be taking advantage of the stock market. You need to be taking advantage of the crypto market. As I believe it was, excuse me, I believe it was Warren Buffett said it best. He says, time, if it wasn't him, somebody said it, some wise person said it, time in the market beats better than time in the market. Time in, T-I-M-I-N-G, timing, and then time in, T-I-M-E space I-N. Time in the market beats trying to time the market. So as long as you're breathing, you need to be in the markets, right? Letting your money go to work for you. And when you need something, you can always sell off some of you don't want to sell a whole position if you don't have to. Sell a couple shares here, sell a couple shares there, free up the money you need freed up, take care of what you need to be taken care of. And you're always doing your DCA each week. So you're always replenishing. So you're always replenishing. So when you have a need, it's there, right? So anyway, I've talked enough. It's all about building your financial knowledge, guys and gals, and building your financial wealth, being able to turn your life around, being able to tap into that thing called life-changing money, tap into that thing, generational wealth. It's not possible today. You can't do it in one day. To say Rome was not built in one day, but if you just tackle it a little bit at a time, a couple of years, you will be amazed of how your money has worked for you. You'll be amazed to see that compound interest go to work. You'll be amazed to see how the market just constantly goes up time over time, year over year. You can have a market crash today, and next month you'll still have 2 or 3 positions that's surging up 20% higher, right? So, your whole portfolio might not be surging, but your overall bottom line is going higher and higher and higher. Okay, guys, I got to close here. Been a great weekend for me. Had a brand new granddaughter coming to the world on yesterday, baby J, and she has put a smile on all our faces. And so, yes, I've had a lot going on, but hey, life is good, all is well. So, wish you guys all the best and take care and be blessed continually, my friend.